Okay, let's work on this one. Let me close my magical door and my magical, extremely expensive curtain here. Oh yeah, there we go. And one more light on and we got it. So we got our space station here, and I'm just going to just start in. Do that over so I don't manage to do the Peter Pan over it. So we're going to get this done. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this one today, but if I don't finish it today, it'll be definitely finished tomorrow because I do want to have this in the show that's coming up in 1 week from today. Oh my goodness. Tomorrow's doing labels and making sure I got my cards on the back of the paintings. Everything's wired. Everything's painted on the side, so I'm actually in pretty doggone good shape. So, but 1 week from today at Sissy Bar, Portland, Oregon, the science fiction show. All right, October 15th, Saturday. Starting at 4 p.m. A little bit of white here. I'm going to add a little more, that's drying up on me, a little more yellow ochre. So the sun, the light source generally is going from this direction here. But it's actually kind of like what you're getting is this. And so you're getting some shadow effects from celestial bodies that are in the foreground here. So that's what's going on here. Just keep adding some detail to this. It's a great big station. Kind of envisioning this is like a large asteroid area where you get a lot of mining and for the ore and all that type of stuff. Hey, Billy. Yeah, husband. Hope you're doing all well here. White and a little bit of yellow ochre. Good, good. Glad you're feeling fantastic. Yay! Doing a lot of cleaning up on this thing. It's kind of like a port that's where a lot of people live. It's kind of located in a heavy asteroid area that a lot of mining and stuff that goes on here. Kind of like a place where the people stay and also business people, shippers, to get the ore out, and might even be some refinery capabilities on there. The refinery position is totally automatic, and most of your mining and stuff like that's done by robots and stuff. But you still have a large population that is involved in the, ore cells and all that type of stuff. Oh, that's great. That's great. Is Jessica your friend? I'm assuming. We're going to keep doing this. Okay. Blue here. I'm going to add a little more Prussian blue. I said Prussian blue because the Prussians are blue. Okay. All right. Oh, it's out of my mind. Yeah, my mind is a disturbing place. Yeah. Yep. Adding blue. Whoa! Couldn't help myself. Got some shadow lines here. And blue, black here. A little bit of white. Titanium white, that is. Yeah, I sure enjoyed looking at all those paintings at the National Art Gallery there at the Smithsonian. Wow, that was just impressive. I tell you that. If you're not wowed by that, I don't know what you'd be wowed by. And everybody has their own taste in art. Sometimes I forget that. We all do. We have our own taste. I always say a good piece of artwork is a piece of artwork you like. And it's not a matter of understanding art, it's a matter of Do you like it? There's the real question. Do you like it? And that means you do. Hey, Anthony. Greetings and salutations. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Get that over here. A little more. Oh, couldn't help myself again. There we go. Some real work on the shadow effects here. Get out of the way of you. Hopefully I'm not smack right in the way. Probably am. Seems to be a thing I'm able to do. Now we're going to do that. This ring actually comes across top of that. Kind of like a giant hubcap or a big watch in the sky. It's almost how I envision it. Oh, yeah. That. There. Come back in here with white. Mm-hmm. Hey, Diane, how are you doing? One week from now is my show at the new bar, so hopefully everything goes smoothly. Get people to show up, that's the big one. That's where the bar really actually makes its money, if they sell booze while you have an opening. Excellent, Diane. Excellent. Excellent. That keeps going around like so. Whoa! Oh my God, I'm in voice today. Watch out. I got to deliver some paintings to the other bar because they got a fundraiser, and I always donate a few things, so I got to get that delivered today. They need. It sounds funny, but they're prepared for. They call it the Giving Tree, and actually, the whole event occurs the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and so and that's coming up before you know it. You realize Thanksgiving is about 6 weeks away. Can you believe that? Oh my goodness! I tell you, shocking, shocking! I tell you, shocking. Gotta straighten these things up. I think I should be able to be done with this one tomorrow. Definitely. Tomorrow 11. I know Pat was mentioning me showing some of those master paintings that I saw over the on my vacation, and they talk about them. I don't know how to edit something like that. I'd have to create some sort of like slideshow, and I'm not. Yeah, I'll look into that. But right now, I got to concentrate all my efforts on being ready for the show coming up a week from today. So that's the primary thing. I got to prioritize. I tell you, Matt. And then once I'm set up in there, I'll go back to some lighthouses, and hopefully we'll see how these science fiction do. When I do nothing but science fiction, it's always a risk because there's a lot of people love science fiction, but they can't imagine it on their wall. So, but I've noticed the new younger generations, they don't care. So I've been doing pretty good. I've actually had some young people that have bought my science fiction, and I've actually had some people. I have a lawyer buy one for his office, so I thought that was kind of cool. And I know I have a couple sitting at a bank, so that's kind of cool too. So. It's kind of, I love it when somebody takes a picture of one of my paintings hanging on. So it's kind of cool that you see where it ended up, So I like that. I have one that ended up in a little kid's room. A parrot bought it. I thought that was pretty cool. I think the girl is like oh heck, how old is she? Shoot, she's probably not. Just try to think. I think she's like 2. Remember when he had her, and he was all proud of his new daughter, which I don't blame him. We're kind of cleaning up these circles a little bit here. That's what I'm concentrating on right now. And we're going to get more and more detail into this contraption out here that rotates to provide the centrifugal force gravity. And that's why my friend points out, he says, that's where like Star Wars and all those things are inaccurate. Hey, Pat, how are you doing? Greetings. So, like I said, I'm madly trying to get done for the show coming up in 1 week. Well, I got the event out, so if you're in town and able to do it, that'd be great. Or I could send you my hypersonic private jet and pick you up too. I could do that. I also have I just got a brand new. Oh, it's slick. Oh man, is it slick! It's a hypersonic helicopter, so I don't even have to have a runway. I could just land in your backyard or on the street or something like that, pick you up, and then boom, we're gone. It's amazing. You should see it. Oh God, is it ever something else? I gave it the name Ballistic Bob. Yeah. Just in case you're wondering. All right. Wasn't that what they called the craft that's in Dune? The ones that went out to the mining sites that look like giant dragonflies? Gyrocopter? If I can't, I think so. Yeah, I not too long ago watched the new Dune, and I would highly recommend that movie. I don't watch much movies and or television, but I highly recommend that one. I do. It's with Timothy, whatever he pronounced his last name, and it was well done. I had to actually get a new speaker because they have one thing I didn't like. They have a tendency to mumble through it. See, and I'm an air raid siren, so I don't mumble, but they kind of mumble, and that is hard to hear them if you don't have a good speaker. Okay, let's get this one here. I'm just working on all this. Oh, couldn't help myself. Got excited again. Yeah. Okay, so this goes. Oh, that's too watery. See, that's just going to drip right away. Yeah, you were talking about, Pat, you were talking about me doing like something on the paintings I saw at the National Gallery. I'm going to have to figure out how to do that because I'd have to create some sort of slideshow that you could hear me talk, so I will look into that. But right now, unfortunately, I have really got to kick butt on. I'm in really good shape for this show, but I always like giving myself that little cushion of time because you'd be surprised. You'll pull a painting out, and you go, oh, God, I can't believe I was that sloppy in that area. And I always like giving myself quality control. I will call it quality control. Yeah. Gyrocopter. Yeah. But so right now, until that show is set up and done, and starting Sunday, next week, not this week, next week, I'll probably get back to, I got another lighthouse painting I want to do, and some Portland scenes. Oh, I'll tell you one thing, it's kind of scary here in Portland, is that, we have a lot of, graffiti problems and stuff like that right now, and it was really interesting being in DC, and they had none of that. And I said, I want to ask them, what are you doing? And my sister lives in Annapolis area, and it was absolutely a beautiful little town. That's the capital of Maryland. That's the first time I've ever been actually in Maryland. Just gorgeous, almost a fairy tale type town. And it just was gorgeous. No graffiti, once again. And I said, wow. And I saw some big walls on some buildings, and I said that would have been, if that was here, we would have had it all tagged and everything. And as they call it, I don't even like the term tagged. Why don't you just say what it is, damage, I'll probably get our house spray paint now by saying that, but oh, couldn't help myself again. Yeah. But okay, this needs to go here, and it comes in here. Oh, couldn't help myself again. All right. Get some black here, carbon black, that is. Got the Had some great meals. Just a great time. I went with some friends, and my sister was able to come out and join us. My friend's sister, who also lives in the area, she came up and visited us, so that was a lot of fun. It's fun to meet family members of friends that you haven't ever met before, and she had two wonderful little kids. They were just great, 9 and 11. They were cool kids. I think they ran out of energy. I tell you what, in one building alone, we walked 6 miles. That'll give you an idea how immense those buildings are. And you realize that's just one building. A lot of people don't understand that this Smithsonian is not one museum. It's a complex, and it's just huge. I think it's the largest museum in the world, and it's just filled with treasures. And when I get back, the Air and Space Museum was closed because they were doing renovations. You can see they were adding a wing to it when we went by it. So I definitely want to see that. And even parts of the National Gallery was closed. I tell you, another thing that just impressed me is that they actually had the Magna Carta there. You're talking about something that was written in 1215, and they had it. They said they were aware of 17 copies that were made, and which 4 are left. Some have been destroyed in fires or just over periods of time, and obviously all the horrible warfares and all that type of stuff. But they had one of the 4 copies. I couldn't believe it. I said, this is where all this type of stuff started. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to, if you're interested in art at all, I strongly recommend you either go to your local art museum, or if you have a chance to make it to some place like Washington, D.C. or New York. New York has a huge art museum, the Metropolitan Art Museum. And I strongly recommend going to it. Or if your area has like a art exhibit on tour, sometimes like here in Portland, we'll have the Monet come through, and I strongly recommend you go in and take a look, and you really get an appreciation of art. Even if it's, let's say, art that you're not necessarily a big fan of, it's not a bad thing to go and look at those, because you get a different appreciation. You don't even ever have to really necessarily like it, but you get an appreciation of different styles. And what was amazing about the Smithsonian is that whoever is the person ahead of the Smithsonian is a genius, because they made it so you could understand how art and everything progressed. You started from the earliest age of art that they had, and then you just wander your way through this building. If you follow the arrows, and before you know it, you get into modern time. You go through the Monet period, the Impressionist period. You go to the Picasso period. They even had pre-Cubism Picasso, which was amazing. And so you can see the progression of the thinking and the more looseness of the thought. You saw that dramatically in the Renaissance period. You went from these stern pictures, if you're having fun, you're wrong, to people smiling. I took a picture of a couple of I would say statues, but and and the person was smiling, where before smiling was a bad thing. Period. You're having fun, you're wrong. Yeah, so it was kind of cool. I really enjoyed that. But you could tell the difference in thinking was underway. Which kind of concerns me. An awful lot of pictures I see done today by younger people, you're not smiling enough, and everything's not perfect, but it never has been. And smile once in a while. That's what I say. If you smile, guess what? People smile back. That's one thing I learned. And when I was stationed in Germany, that's one thing I noticed. I would hear people, the Germans, they just are so cold and mean. I never had a problem with that, because I said hello. And they said hello, and they smiled back. They're human beings, just like the rest of us. Something I've learned. So we're going to get rid of that one. That's not working. Get rid of that fan there. Whoa, couldn't help myself again. Yeah. Well, the Industrial Museum was closed for renovation. That's one I definitely want to get back. All the innovations and stuff. It was quite amazing. You know, in the American History Museum, they had a lot about wars and stuff like that. And I always try to remind people, even though I enjoyed that, don't get me wrong, and I appreciate that, but at the same time, there's a lot more going on in the world than just war. In fact, a majority of what really influences today isn't a result from war at all. You know, take a look at the smartphone and the all the little devices that we have today. A lot of the devices that influenced us was actually probably more of a result of the space age, which was a competition with the Soviets, obviously. But when NASA needed, you know, a lot of your small handheld devices came from that era because they needed things light. I'm just covering this up, but we're going to liven up that space background too here. Oh, it's like I keep talking away. Okay. Yeah, going to add a little bit of blue to that. A little bit of Prussian blue, because the Prussians are blue. But yeah, there we go. But it was just fascinating. Obviously, some inventions came out as a result of war. The jet engine is one, you know, so, and really rocket power too. The first picture of Earth is taken by it was a German V2 rocket. They just simply mounted a camera on it in 1946 and launched it in space. First picture of Earth from space. Actual picture, and they say, "Well, look at that. It's round." It is round. That would have been so funny, though. They do that, and the darn thing's flat, and they say, "Well, that just set us back a few hundred years, if not 1,000 years." What? But it was a beautiful, clean city, DC. Very friendly people too. Right? We didn't encounter one rude person. It was really nice. All of our Uber and Lyft drivers were friendly as heck. In fact, some of them should have been comedians. Yeah, Norman Rockwell is one of my favorites too. I put Edward Hopper, Norman Rockwell, also who else? Obviously all the Impressionists I love, absolutely love. Actually, I like some of Picasso's work, even his Cubism, and I think some people are surprised by that. I said, but take a look at it. You know, it's actually quite amazing. I'm going to be honest, I'm not necessarily a huge fan of some of the modern stuff like Rothko and stuff. I mean, if you like it, I can appreciate that. I mean, I kind of was a little bit negative, and so I deleted that thing because that's not what I'm about is that. But like I said, everybody has their own taste. A good piece of artwork is a piece of artwork you like. That's what I always say. We're in the process of livening this up here. Start getting better and better contrast here. Whoa, couldn't help myself again. Got our big space operation here going on. Yeah. And you know, it's interesting. If you take a look at Norman Rockwell, he also did some very what we consider controversial paintings that a lot of people didn't really. They always think of his famous Thanksgiving scenes, the wholesome family, and all that stuff from this Saturday Evening Post. But he did some political statements during the civil rights movements that was quite, you know, would be controversial with conservative whites. But he spoke up a little. You know, now there's a famous picture of that little girl that was being escorted by marshals and to go to school, and Yeah, I'm sure that ruffled some people's feathers. But it was a very potent commentary on America, and I thought that was really cool. Nobody knew he did things like that. I think it was him when it was close to when he passed away, made the comment. He says, "I need more time." So I thought that was interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people, yeah, didn't know that about him. Incredible artist. You always think of him as that wholesome painting, but incredible artist. Probably one of our best artists. Well, he's in the top five, if not the top two. Best art, in my opinion, best artist from the United States. Just my opinion. But everybody has their style too. Once again, what they like. I did a couple of paintings that were based off of a friend and also a photograph that I took. I went down to the riots here in Portland. That was about over 2.5 years. I can't believe it's already been 2.5 years for those things. But I did some paintings and I managed to ruffle a couple of feathers too. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's continue this thing on down. I'm just looking at here as I go. Got our big mining operation. I think this is going to be a mining operation. That's what we're going to call it. Some kind of name of that. I don't know if you remember the movie Outland. I always loved the massive corporation name in that one, Con Am, and it was short for conglomerate amalgamation. In other words, we are big. We're bigger than everybody. I always love those. I think it was SNL that did a spoof on Exxon. And they had an ad where Exxon Mobil, get in our way, we kill you. I'm going to have lights and everything on this. I've always wondered if you have a rotating space station, if you would actually have real windows, because I don't know about you, but I might get dizzy looking out as we rotate. But I suppose if it's big enough, you probably wouldn't have that effect. You just see the stars slowly rotate by you. So that's kind of about how this one is. It's a huge station, and so it's like, well, you know me, science fiction. It's got to be huge. Can't be small. Ah, now I I actually had a person when he saw. I'm thinking he went into Scandals and saw those paintings, and I actually knew this guy, and he went through my entire Facebook, and you know how I do the daily greetings, have a wonderful day, have something like that, and he went through a whole bunch of them and says that's just stupid, that's stupid, that's just stupid, and you're like, wow, did you make it to the eighth grade? It's just like, gosh. Oh well, that's enough politics whatsoever. I gotta, like I said, that's kind of one of my rules. I try to stay positive and stay off politics. Stay off politics, stay off religion. Oh, we're gonna have a whole civil war on that. All right, coming back in here. Had a portrait of Cornelius Vanderbilt. Oh, I like your first super rich. Come in with a different brush. That's too big. That's too big of a brush. That might work if it's. Yeah, it's working. Oh, okay. Oh my God, I'm in voice. Watch out. So how you doing, Pat? I haven't heard from you in a while. Hopefully everything's going better or good. So. Oh, God, my voice. Getting that big nebula behind us here and there. Oh, couldn't help myself again. That down there. A nice warm day here in Portland. It was kind of cold when I left DC. We had absolutely wonderful weather up until Friday, and then we had a little bit of remnants of Ian. That's the hurricane. Nothing bad, but just plenty of rain. That's one thing. We rarely get a storm of that magnitude. Well, we never get a storm of that magnitude here. We've had over 100-mile-an-hour winds, and that does plenty of damage, but nothing like those hurricanes. I make those old man noises when I bend over anymore. I tell myself, you didn't need to do that. You sound like an old man. Oh, couldn't help myself again. Sorry. Okay. Let this out. Start getting this more dynamic here. Oh, no. And I always strongly recommend when you do a painting is make sure you Look at it in different lights before you say it's done, because you'd be surprised. You'll see it when it looks like on the computer. It seems really good, but the computer's not picking up some weak areas of the paint. And so I strongly recommend that you always take it into a different room, to look at it too. Give yourself, like I said, I'm looks like I've given myself enough time for this show to do a couple like good, solid, quality control looks at these things. That's what I want to do. Because you'd be surprised. You bring it into a different location, and I'm not sure how good of a lighting this new bar has. It has a nice big black wall, so I'm sure they're going to pop out pretty good because of that reason alone. But probably head out there. I have to deliver some paintings to one bar for their charity, and then I got to probably make sure I give myself enough time to head out to the other one. Who knows? It's a nice enough day. I might take our light rail out part of the way and then just hoof it, walk it. It's amazing the different buildings and stuff like that you see when you do something like that too, though. Or you get mugged, one of the two. That's too bright, too white, too yellow. That's the oh my God, I'm in voice. Buddy. Oh, really? Wow. We had a weird event here in Oregon, and they said it happens every once in a while. We had the jet stream get low enough that it actually went across one mountain, and it just totally wiped out every tree there was. It was a small, narrow path, but it was and they said the jet stream actually touched the ground, which is a rare occurrence, but it does happen here. The mountains are high enough that you could see it looked like a giant beam or something like that just took these trees out. And it was a narrow band of them. It was just really interesting. You could see it from the highway. And the jet stream moves really fast. Okay. You can hear my neighbors talking. I think they're doing something to their yard. That's one thing in this neighborhood. It seems like people are always working in their yard. I kind of feel bad. I'm a lazy butt. But I also need, I don't know, you could turn your yard, your house into a nothing but of a nonstop chores, I think sometimes. But if that's what you enjoy, then have at it. But I'm not going to have the perfect yard. I have my flowers. They didn't do as well this year, but I still got some spectacular dahlias. I have a big yellow dahlia. It's about that big. It's just beautiful. That one did well. And I'm not digging up the darn bulbs this year. All the bulbs that I went through painstakingly took out, layered them into boxes and everything else. Something got in there and they were just dust. Yeah. No. Oh. Yeah, I think we're gonna get done with this one tomorrow. You bet your butt. Even if we have to go a little over, we'll get it done. Yo, dum. The light areas here. I've been fascinated with the Webb telescope right now. Some of the images that it's been coming out with, it's just amazing. And I understand a lot of those that we're seeing is actually true color. It's not some artist rendition or anything like that. That's the real deal that you're seeing. I think that's amazing. I always liked science. I always liked astronomy when I was a kid. I was a nerd. I have a little creature that's been digging up things. I don't know if it's a gopher or a mole. The nice little mounds everywhere. I said, thank you very much. Yeah. Kind of hard to. It's almost impossible to get ready. You know, I remember a few years ago I got this thing was it vibrated the ground and was supposed to make it so they wouldn't like it. Oh heck, I think they used it as a massage post. Yeah, so I've noticed my gopher and let's go right over that. So, my gopher and mole populator, whatever the creatures they are under the ground, uh, has a direct relationship in population to if I have a falcon or a sizable snake in the yard. Yeah, that tends or cats. That's another one. If I got cats visiting, guess what? They leave. So I don't mind the cats. I like the cats. Cats like me. So. My friends' cats like me, so that's all that counts. They walk all over me. Yeah, we're gonna get done with this tomorrow. You betcha. We're gonna add some more detail to that Giants space station. We're gonna clean up a couple of lines. Definitely gonna get done with that. We still got a good 10 minutes here, so we're gonna put that time to use. I don't have to be anywhere here. I am going to go downtown for a little while. Like I said, deliver those paintings. Oh, could almost up again. Sounds like dog poop stuck to your tube. Around here, people are pretty good cleaning up after their dog, which I really appreciate. Add a little more white. Gorgeous dog. Oh, I see my neighbor's dog, Lily. Lily's a little sweetheart. Lily likes me. Okay, back at it. So we're going to actually start putting some stars in it. Our first layer of stars. And the key to stars is you really want them different size, different brightnesses, and that gives you that three-dimensional look. So we're going to randomly put them in here. Couldn't help myself once again. And now, if this was like from Earth, I would try to have some accuracy on our constellations that we have. Yeah, but some of those Webb telescope photographs are just blows you away. And then when they talk about the distances, it's just like, holy cow! And it's already upending theories that they had because it's the first telescope we've had that could reach out that far. I love astronomy. What I'm going to be doing tomorrow is coming with almost like another layer of clouds, not clouds, but gaseous, the nebula, whatever it is. And that will give it a more three-dimensional feel. Well, couldn't help myself. But yeah, like I said, once I get the art and display for Sissies, I'm going to be doing some more. I've got another lighthouse I want to do, and there's a couple Portland scenes I want to do. And so that will be for the show coming up in January, which just blows my mind, is that is not that far away either. I knew also once this show came in, I wasn't going to have too much time after it. And then plus I got to go visit the parents, and you got Thanksgiving in the middle of all that, and Christmas. So the winter solstice, or whatever you want to call it. Oh man, look at that noon hour coming on us here, or wherever you are. I thought we were not going to change from daylight savings times back because they had passed that, but unfortunately, I think we are. So I'll be a different hour again on you, Diane. Yeah. Drink your vitamins, stay up. I wish we'd just stay on daylight saving times if I had it my way. That's my personal opinion. I always think it's funny They talk about doing daylight saving time to save energy. Guess who's one of the biggest proponents of lobbyists for extending daylight saving times? The oil company, because they know you get out and drive more. And then also the candy companies, because they want daylight saving times extended past Halloween, because people go out earlier. I remember that in my political science class. I always said, follow the money. There's truth to that. All right. Okay, so we're going to call it good tonight, or today, I should say. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope I didn't sound too negative there. It's just that it seems like I've had a bit falling off, and I always hope I haven't managed to irritate somebody. Gosh knows this mouth keeps going sometimes, and it needs to stop sometimes. So let's do that. There we go. All right. Thank you for joining me. Take care, stay healthy, stay safe. Thank you to everybody that's keeping everything running. Thank you to all of them. So seriously, I'll be back on tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific time, right here in Oregon. So I'll be back on tomorrow, and I think we should be able to get this one finished tomorrow. Then I'll be mad, zipping to get the sides painted, wires on it. I got to make my labels, and I've got to make sure all my business cards. Make sure you always attach a business card to the back of your painting. I always strongly recommend that. I don't know if it does any good, but at least you never know. You never know. Somebody might find the darn thing. Oh, look at this. Mic trap. Wow. All right. Seriously, take care. Have a great rest of your day, evening or afternoon, or wherever you're located on this big ball. So take care. Bye-bye. Space Station! Take care. Thank you, Diane.